Hi everyone, happy Monday. This is probably like my fifth time trying to record this thing. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Anyway, I decided that I want to do a part two of being black in Vancouver. The reason why I'm going to record a second part to this topic is because I received so many emails and comments on my time in Vancouver. As you know, I left in March. Right now, I've been splitting my time between New York and Washington, D.C., and I will be moving again in about a week and a half. I should say that everything that I said in my first video is true. I didn't exaggerate, but that was just my personal experience. I can also say that during the 3 months that we've been away from Vancouver, that my daughter hasn't mentioned the city once. That was a bit shocking for me because she liked Vancouver a lot. Um, but I notice now that we are in bigger areas and areas that have a more sizable black population, she's made a few comments that she likes seeing people that look more like herself, which will be interesting because in Japan she's not going to see that many people that look like her, but that's a whole nother story. Um, I'm a little, how can I say? I'm a little concerned for some of the people who've emailed me and said, I've really been thinking about moving to Vancouver, but after seeing your video, I'm going to say no to a job offer or I'm going to change my mind. I Like I said, I moved to Vancouver on very little notice. I received a job offer. I thought it was going to be in Toronto. They told me that position was filled, but they needed a supervisor in a clinic in Vancouver, and I decided to take it. But I moved and everything within 3 to 4 weeks, which is really short. So as a result, I didn't have enough time to fully do my research on what type of opportunities or community is there for people who are trying to um, being around Africans or other Black people. I If I had to do it again, I probably would still move to Vancouver just because there were a lot of positive things to living there. But if I were to do it again, I would have done way more research on what what type of resources is there for a Black person like myself, and what type of daycare options are there out there for single parents. And I think the fact that I didn't do the research in those two areas, when I got to Vancouver, I felt I was blindsided because there was practically nothing compared to what I had in Ontario. So that kind of put me on a negative with the city before I even really had started living there. And I feel like for someone who has a job offer in the city or they've been looking at Vancouver for several months, you could easily move to the city and have a different experience than me. Even though I'm Black and I'm a visible minority in Vancouver, we're all different in terms of what our threshold is to being around other ethnicities. Even though I've talked about, feeling isolated, I am somebody that has friendships with people of all races. I enjoy all types of cuisines and learning about all different cultures. I feel for me personally, it was hard adjusting to Vancouver because I've always lived in cities where there were a sizable Black population. If you were to ask me what I feel about Toronto, I also would say, there's not that many Black people in Toronto, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but you have to think that I'm coming from living in Paris, New York, Washington, D.C., and Tampa. So when you look at those four areas, the Black population in Toronto really isn't that big, and then the Black population in Vancouver is like minuscule. So all I want to say is if you're truly looking to live in the Pacific Northwest, do a lot of research. There are a lot more community groups out there for Black professionals now, and they popped up over the last year or so. If you're the type of person that is going to be living in Surrey or in Vancouver and you want to go to an all Black church, you have a couple options. If you're the type of person that just you're not looking to seek out any particular race, but you just like to know that there are a few groups out there If you do your research, you'll easily find it, and you'll probably have an experience that's very different from mine. Like I said, if I were to do everything again, I would still go to Vancouver. I would just do more research, and I hope that if you choose to live there, that you should try to visit twice. Ideally, once in the summer. Like right now, they're having fabulous weather, and I would go again in February. So, on that note, because my daughter's now awake, are you going to say hello?
Hi.
I will say goodbye. So, if you have any further questions, you can feel free to email me. My name is elizabethslp@gmail.com, and I spell my name with an S, not a Z. So, on that note, take care. Have a good week. Bye bye.